Y'all honor Tim and Terry as Tim comes. Even though he's got hot pink on, takes a real man.
Talking about the hundreds and hundreds of lives that I have impacted, I thought, well, that was a nice way of saying, dang, you're old. But I appreciate you enunciating that in a little better way. God, you're getting old. You talking about feeling old. As last night when Stephen reached in and got those readers out and put on, I thought, dear Lord, where's the undertaker? They're about to measure me right now. Terry and I love coming here. We love coming here. David and Wendy have been really good friends of ours for a long, long time. And I appreciate our friendship. Without a doubt, and I'm as serious as I can be, without a doubt, last night's word to us from Stephen, without a doubt, was the most important word you'll ever hear in your whole life. Without a doubt. There's no way to say what Stephen taught on last night. Oh, Steve, that was really good. That was good. No, it wasn't really good. It was the word for the church today. Stephen, thank you for that insight. We are a written epistle. That doesn't mean that you're called to preach. That means when you're working cattle or you're driving a truck or you're delivering a load of feed or whatever it is, you are a written epistle. We are Christ's embodiment on this earth. And if the lost see, Stephen, it was awesome. If the lost see the same gossip out of your mouth, out of my mouth, as they do the folks that don't go to church, we're not Christ's body and we're not the written epistle we're called to be. And this isn't a new problem. James chapter 1 addresses it. I mean, it's just James chapter 1 addresses it. It is the problem for Christians today. We come and we hear the word. We enjoy the word. We amen the word. We give money to hear the word. We travel out of town to hear the word. We're word people. But the application of that in our mouth and in our attitude and in our temper, I would, preachers like to talk, and so I just want to stand up here and talk, or I would have just dismissed the conference last night. Stephen, awesome. That was a word. That was a word for us, and I don't want you to take what happened here last night lightly. Go over and hear that again and again and again. Last night was why you came here. I'm going to just take up some time because I like to talk. But today we so go through the motions of our life. We go through the motions of the day. We go through the motions of our to-do list, and it's easy to lose sight of the fact that we're on an assignment, that we're on a mission. And I want to talk about that video in detail today. As I just outlined what we just saw on this screen, we are on an assignment. We are on a mission. And as I just said, I'm thrilled. And boy, I told Terry, I'm so looking forward to hearing from Taylor and Keisha and Kobe, and I love listening to them. They impart to me, and I'm so looking forward to their impartation. But that's their assignment. That's what they're to do. Don't overlook and don't minimize you working cattle by a lost person. You can't I'll never be able to speak like Kobe. Well, you're running a track hoe for a lost man. And Kobe ain't never going to preach. Keisha's not ever going to preach her great sermon to that guy that owns that track hoe that you're operating. And as great as Taylor is going to be up here enunciating the word, you're out pulling a separated rod out of an oil rig, and the oil's coming all on your head and everywhere, and you're surrounded by people that Taylor's great sermon ain't never going to be told to. And you can't lose sight of the fact that, yes, there's no doubt that Kobe's going to follow me and he's on an assignment, but you out there on that oil rig are on an assignment too. And you can't lose sight of that. You can't lose sight of that. I wasn't very good in school. I just had too many other things on my mind. And I always had something more important to say than what the teacher was saying. And so I was usually saying it at the same time she was saying it, which got me in a lot of trouble all the time. But I do remember there was one day in my academic career that I do remember. And it was my 8th grade biology class on conception. I was wide awake and I never said a word. But the problem with that is people teach on stuff I ain't interested in. God has a birthing plan, and it takes a man and a woman. And it takes a male and a female. Now, whether that's bulls and cows, that's mares and stallions, that's chickens and roosters, that's buck and doe. And aren't you thrilled to have a president that understands this? Now, it seems to be a really difficult thing to get a hold of, but I'm just thrilled that the man running our country understands you don't have more cows by having them. I'm not preaching that. In the female body are 2 fallopian tubes. And these fallopian tubes carry eggs. And at a certain point in time, an egg is delivered from that fallopian tube. At the time when conception takes place, son, I paid attention on this day in class. There are sperm cells released at this time. Now, depending on the sperm count of the male, there is somewhere around 50. There's a lot. Up to 250 million. Now, low, 30 or 40 million. Y'all give me a few minutes, it's going to take a while. Do y'all have the point, or do I need to put up 200? You got it? Okay. I don't have to do 200 million sperm cells that are released at this time. Young people, and I tell all of our young people, don't ever say, I can't believe she got pregnant. We only had sex one time. Every time you do, it's like 250 million times. So just keep that in your mind, okay? It wasn't one, oh, we just did it once. I can't believe she got pregnant. She just did it once. Well, it's just like 250 million times you just did. So that's in the back of your mind when you're in the back seat of the car. We're moving right along quickly. Now, what happens here is these sperm cells are all swimming. And one sperm cell, one out of 50 million, out of 250 million, one sperm cell unites with that egg. And that's what I want to talk about. You got to understand God's plan. Most of you, I don't know at all who you are. But there's one thing that I know for sure as I look into your eyes. There's only one thing, and one thing that I know for sure when I look in your eyes. You are a winner, or you wouldn't be in that chair, because all of the losers are washed out. God understood the sin nature of man. God understood the way things were going to be. Oh, Tim, you don't understand. My mother didn't want me. Well, Tim, you don't understand. My dad, it was just a one-night stand. He didn't want any kids. Tim, you don't understand. My dad wanted a girl, and I was a boy. Tim, you don't understand. My mom ran out on our family. My mom put me on the doorstep of my aunt's house and ran. Here, I understand all of that, and those are tragic stories. But here's what I know about you. If you weren't a winner, if you weren't designed on purpose, for a purpose, you are here on an assignment, you're here on a mission, or you would have been washed out. Here's what I want you to know. Ephesians chapter 1:1, in him we were chosen, having been predestined according to the plan of him who works everything in conformity with the purpose of his will. Stare at this board while I read Ephesians chapter 1, verse 1. Do you understand that? Yeah. Who works everything out in conformity to his will. When that sperm and that egg united, an inventory came together. An inventory of talents, abilities. One is good with numbers, one is good with their hands, one is good with building, one is good with livestock. I see people, they can just read a cow. They think like one, they can just read a cow. And I see people I put in the pen, and oh dear Lord, just go sit down would be more help than you are being to me. They're at the wrong end of the cow at every turn. They just all thumbs out. See, there is a wiring for being a mechanic. There is an understanding. There is a woven in you a purpose. Write this scripture down, Acts 17, verse 26. From one man, he made every nation of men, that they should inhabit the whole earth. Now get this. He determined the times set for them and the exact place that they should live. Underline it, Acts chapter 17, verse 26. The times set and the exact place that they would live. I got to ask a question. Why were you not alive in 1825? Why are you not alive in 1925? Why are you here in 2025? You didn't choose that. Your mama didn't choose that. You see, why? Here's what I'm trying to tell you. Your mama didn't choose. Your dad didn't choose. And I hate it that you were unwanted by a mom and a dad. I hated that a dad just raped your mom and ran off and you don't even know. I mean, we can talk about stories all day long. That's just terrible. That's awful. But there is a divine orchestration, or you wouldn't be here, that has nothing to do with a mom, with a dad, with the back seat of a car. It don't have nothing to do with that. Maybe your mom and dad were madly in love and they planned on you and you were exactly what they planned. Maybe that's your story. There's a divine orchestration here. Why are you not living in South Carolina? Why are you not born in Africa? Why are you not born? Why were you not born in Colombia? See, there's a divine orchestration how your ancestors even moved into this area. Maybe you have no ancestors here. What are you doing here? Well, this one met this one and this one now, and then this phone call and then that one. And you tell us long story about what you're doing in this county. How did you get in this ministry? We ain't got a sign up down there. How did you get here? I'm helping you out, my man. Everybody has a cross to bear, and I'm helping you with yours. you get? I mean, what? Some of you were here and you run. I got to get out of here. But you were drawn back. And you're back here. See, God set the time, 2025. God set this exact place. And nobody else chose that. No, nobody chose that. Do you get this? There's no accident here. Maybe your mom and dad were having fun and did not want no kid. And you were put up for adoption because they didn't want you. You're no unwanted accident. Because unwanted accidents in God's design cannot be born. And God calls you a winner. God calls you an overcomer. Well, he doesn't know. Well, maybe you can't run as fast as the guy in your school, but you ran faster than 250 million. Or you wouldn't even gotten here. See, it's born inside you. It's gifted inside you. Well, what is inside you? What takes place when this event right here happened? Boom. When that happened, I'm not talking. See, this female and this male were incubators. They were tools. They were simply tools. They were simply an incubator in a shop where we're incubating eggs. These were tools. This male and this female were nothing more. They wanted you. They're still nothing more than tools out of all of these eggs, out of all of these cells. There's not but one answer, and God picked that. God picked that. God picked you, and he wove into you. Why at family gatherings? Why at every church gathering do all the kids flock to you? I don't even like kids. Why are all the kids jumping up on you and jumping you, and you're playing and you're in the floor, and we got 30 adults in here waiting on the turkey to get done, and kids are everywhere on you. Why do you feel more comfortable in a room full of children? Give me 50 children. I don't want to be with 3 adults. Why do you feel more comfortable? Why? There's a gift inside you. Is there a daycare in you? Is there a children's church pastor in you? Is there a pediatrician in you? Is there a pediatric nurse in you? Is there a writing of children's books in you? Is there an elementary school teacher in you? Why does every teenager that's your friend on Friday night want to go to the movie, and you want to pull a truck up under a big tree and jack the engine up out of it? You can drive down the road, you see engines swing from a tree. What? Why do you want to take the swings off of the kid's swing set it over the engine and start jacking a part of it up? Go to the movies with your friends. You're weird. You're very different because there's a seed of purpose in you. There is a seed of purpose. Why would you want to sit in an office all day and stare at a screen? Dear Lord, why in the world does Colby want to wade mud all day long out there with them cows? His wife don't understand that. Why don't you go get an office job and you get a little cold, you just set the thermostat? Why do you want to be messing with these cows? Dear Lord, why do you want to teach elementary school and be locked in a room with a bunch of third graders? Not just one, I mean, really? Why do you want to teach elementary school? That is the dumbest thing ever. all of those kids all day long drive me crazy. I want to be outside in a chute about this wide with a 2,200-pound bull running straight at me with snot coming out his nose. That's where I want to be. Are you kidding me? That's where you want to be. I want to be a superintendent of the job of 150 men on a crew. I want to be a truck driver. I don't want no one to ever talk to me. I don't even want to see my wife or kids until Friday night late. And babe, they've called, I need to leave out Sunday, not Monday. See, we look at other people doing what they're doing, and they're weird. That's not normal. I don't know why you would want to do that. Why would anybody want to do that? See, what you got to understand is inside you is a seed of purpose. Is a seed of purpose. Your biggest challenge today is not allowing this time in history, not allowing your purpose to be stolen. That's your biggest challenge, is not allow. See, all of you young guys here, your biggest challenge is not allowing your purpose to be stolen. And there's a long list of ways that it can be. Your task in life, your whole task in life is to become what you were purposed to be. That's what you're here for. See, here's the problem. You wanted to be a mechanic and work on a diesel rig. And that's what you really wanted to do. Except your best friend thinks that is stupid. Why would anybody ever want to work on a diesel rig and hands greasy, and that's the dumbest thing? Go to college with me. We'll major in math, and when we get out, you and I will start an accounting firm together. And so you got a choice of going with your best friend and being an accountant, or doing something stupid like being a diesel mechanic. The only problem is, 2 years into this thing and $120,000 in debt, you fail out. You failed out. And it's not because you're a failure in life, it's because you allowed your purpose to be stolen by your best friend. See, purpose is stolen in many, many ways. Desire for wealth will steal your purpose. There's a call on your life to be a junior high basketball coach. There's a call on your life to coach junior high boys. If you ask any adult what touched you most growing up, they're going to mention a coach. They're going to mention a coach in their life if they played any kind of sports. They'll mention a coach. That's an impactful time. But here's what I can tell you. You can go in the oil field and you can make 10 times the money you can coaching junior high basketball in a little country school. Here's what I'm telling you. You can become an accountant and you can make 10 times the money you can ever. I wanted to be a basketball coach for junior high boys, but it didn't make enough money. See, the desire for wealth steals your purpose. Desire for wealth steals your purpose. So down in life, you become very, very rich and very, very miserable. You're rich and very miserable. Miserable in life because you went into this and allowed your purpose to be stolen from you. See, the desire for prestige, fame. I play the guitar. I sing. I had hair, lots of it, back in the ponytail. I wanted to be a rock star. That's what I wanted to be. Because, whoa, It's a rock star. Ain't no fame in being a pastor. Most people make fun of you. Every pastor at some point makes everybody mad. And if we hadn't, we'll get around to you. Every pastor is going to make a church decision that doesn't suit a group of people. I wanted to do a concert. I had the moves. I want to do a concert, get on that tour bus and leave town. Everybody chasing and screaming and following me down the road. See, prestige wanted to steal my purpose. Wanted to steal my purpose. Desire for wealth, desire for prestige can push you out of your purpose. A desire for pleasure. Just a different woman every night. Stop by the bar every day on your way home. You had a purpose to be a husband, to be a father, to train and to instill in these young lives. But on your way home every day, you had to stop by the bar. So the desire for pleasure stole your purpose. And in this day and time, we are pleasure seekers, way over purpose seekers. Desire for power, it'll steal your purpose. You were a phenomenal salesman selling cars. Phenomenal. But a position open for you to be the head of sales. Oh, see, the desire for power. Now you're managing people, you're overseeing, you're hiring, you're firing. You got under kind of pressure to meet quotas. You're very wealthy and very unhappy, very miserable, because a desire for power pushed you out of the purpose that you were in the middle fulfilling. Here's another problem we got, and it's a desire to do something else. I never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it with our young people. What do you want to do? Something else. I don't even know what I want to do, just not this anymore. You're right in the middle of purpose. You are right. You're working in the children's ministry. You're being used by God. You're right in the middle of purpose. But boy, you get itchy feet. You're unsettled. The young people call it FOMO, fear of missing out. I'm missing out. I'm just locked in this county and this little old dinky church, and I've got these little old kids up here in children's church, and something's happening in Houston. Something's happening in New Orleans. Something's happening in Florida. And there's a fear that you're missing out. Your life is great right here serving. But no, you got to go. What? You got a great wife. You got good kids. You got a great church. You got a phenomenal community to raise your family in. But you got to go. The desire to be somewhere else is killing the purpose of this generation. You just can't get up and go to work and come home and eat supper and get up and go to work and come home and eat supper and get up and go to work and come home and eat supper. Go out in the backyard and pass a ball with your kids. Go out, catch their old nag horse and put a saddle on it and lead them around every day when you come home from work. See the same old kids, same old wife, same old house. She cooks about the same thing every night for supper. It's the same dang job. I got to go. I got the same church. Come in here, David preaches the same sermon. He just changes the titles. I'm so tired of being here. I got to go. See, FOMO, it's happening at another church. It's happening in another town. It's happening in another state. Life is happening somewhere else. It's not happening for me. You're never fulfilled because the purpose you were created for has been stolen from you because of FOMO. You won't hear, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." Good and faithful servant enter in. What you're going to hear is, God says, dear Lord, I've been looking everywhere for you. You were over here. I went over there, and then they gave me this address, and I went down here and found you over here. And they said, you just left. And I asked Jesus. He said, he ain't seen you in months. I mean, well done, my good and faithful servant. That's somebody that's got a hold of what happened when that took place. What happened when that took place? There are no failures in life. All the losers are washed out. Only a winner is born. Now, no doubt you have failed, and you failed big time. But that's because you've allowed your purpose to be stolen. Yeah, you can't possibly succeed in that. That's not in your DNA. Now, that's in your friend's DNA. That's in the rich guy down the road's DNA. But that ain't in yours. And until you come okay with that, until you come okay with, I'm not going to be this, I'm not going to be that, I'm not ever going to have that kind of money. I'll get in my friend's jet and ride with him, but I'm not ever going to have that kind of money. I never will. Because where I am, fulfilling the purpose that I have been placed here on earth to do, doesn't provide. It's unfortunate. I wanted to be 7'2" in black. I just wasn't. Wish I was, but I wasn't. See, you're here on an assignment. 1 Peter 4:10. Each one should use whatever gift. Okay, everybody, look at this right here. Look at this right. Just look at that. Each one should use whatever gift he has received to serve others faithfully, administering God's grace in various forms. Everyone has received a gift. No one's in a failure. You just got out of your gift, and life won't work for you. Your purpose are those kids of yours at home. They're your purpose. Your wife, she's your purpose. She's your purpose. That's it. This church where you've been planted is your purpose. I don't care what's happening across the road. Oh, they have a guest speaker down there. Oh, let's run over there. Here, they're having something over here. Let's go check this out. Let's go check that. Okay, well, that'll be okay, but who's going to keep the nursery here while you're over there? Who's going to make the coffee? Who's going to go get the donuts here while you're running over there and you're doing this? Hey, did you hear? See, the grass is greener in other pastures. We're going to go to this church over here. Let's go visit this church this weekend. I ain't visiting no church. I'll be right here because I get here at 6 in the morning. I unlock the door. I make sure the heat is on. See, and I don't care who's speaking over there. They're a phenomenal speaker. That's wonderful. I'm thrilled what's happening. But here, see, when this happened right here, I recognize there's a purpose for me. And here's my purpose. I don't care who's speaking across town. I'll be right out there in that gravel parking lot. Don't ever minimize what you're doing, because your faithfulness for 20 years in that parking lot changed that little boy's life that was 5, that was 6, that was 7, and saw that same man raining, hot, and you changed that 5, and he got 10, then he got 15, then he got 25, and now he's out in the parking lot right here because of your faithfulness. And you can't be faithful until you understand your purpose. And the biggest challenge today is not allowing your purpose to be stolen. God's calling you out to be the believer that he sent his son for you to be. And that settles everything in your life. I don't need a new woman every week. I don't need a different job every 6 months. I don't need a different town every 2 years. I don't need a different church every 3 years. I understand this right here. And when you understand that, there comes a settledness on the inside of you that's not pushing you. Well, It must be another marriage. It must be another kid. It must be another town. It must be in another church. I'm happy right here, doing what I'm doing week in and week out. See, I'm not looking for a wife to make me happy. I'm fulfilling my purpose, and I'm happy. Therefore, I'm in love with my wife. I'm not looking for a job to make me happy. I'm at that job because I understand what happened right here. And I'm here fulfilling my purpose. My boss cussed me out. My boss came in and gave me a raise. Neither one of those make any difference to me because here's why I'm here. I'm here right here. I don't pay out. Nobody didn't talk to me like that. If this is the way they think about me at this plant, I'm out of here. I said, I don't have nothing to do with any of that. I understand what God told me to do. I understand where God placed me. And here I am fulfilling my purpose. My boss had a good day, my boss had a bad day. Neither one of those affect me. Not this town, this church, David's decisions. I'm here because God. I'm here because God took a seed and he put that in the ground, and that seed came up and gave life to me. And I'm here fulfilling my purpose, on assignment, fulfilling my mission. Y'all stand with me. I don't know, we'll take just 1 minute. I don't know what your situation was. Did that happen with a mom and dad in the backseat of a car that didn't want you? Did that happen for you and you're a boy and they wanted a girl? Did that happen for you in a rape? I don't know. We can all go around and tell our story. I had a phenomenal mom and dad. Maybe you had a great mom and dad. I don't know. All I'm telling you is this woman and this man had nothing to do with those 200 million swimming around and these eggs being released from these fallopian tubes. God, before the foundations of the world, he saw you. He saw this point in time. He saw this church. He saw this community. And he said, I'm going to need a school teacher. I'm going to need somebody to work in the nursery. I'm going to need somebody that can repair car engines. I'm going to need somebody that can drive a backhoe. I'm going to need somebody. They're putting in a new road over here, and I'm going to need somebody that's going to be able to drive a dozer down through there. I'm going to need somebody that's going to be able to supply people with meat. I'm going to be out there. We got to have horses to make a living, and somebody's got to raise these horses, and I'm going to weave into this person. And in 2025, you're here. You're not in Africa. You're not in Colombia. You're not in South America. You're right here at this time because God has a purpose in mind for you. I'm sorry about your sad story today. That's terrible. God's got a purpose for you. Father, right now, we stand here and let go of hurts, losses, failures, low self-esteem, unworthiness. I'm not as good as so-and-so. I can't do this like they. Lord, let all of that go right now and say, God, before the foundations of the world, you took an egg and you took a sperm and you united that with a gifting, with a weaving of purpose. And Lord, thank you for the gift of my life. And I say, here I am. Use me for the purpose you created me to be. In Jesus' name, amen, amen.